In this video, I'm going to show you how to start a blog today and get that first post up and start you on the path to passive income. Launching a blog doesn't have to be hard or scary. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to install your blog, even if you have zero technical ability and have never touched a website before. Thanks for hanging out with me on this week's video. There's a new one coming out next Tuesday. Just hit the subscribe button for more great content and then hit the bell to get notified when I drop new content. I've been blogging since 2007 and my first blog was so successful that a publisher called me to write a book for them. That book has generated over $1 million in sales to date and I still get royalty direct deposits every single month. Since then, I've been helping bloggers just like you to launch their own digital careers. If you're not sure of your blog topic, please make sure to watch my video on how to choose the perfect niche. Just click the link in the corner. Today's video is going to have a lot of demonstrations, so it's worth taking notes and you may need to pause the video or rewatch certain sections. I have a written walkthrough on my blog as well. There's a link right below this video. Choose your domain name. It's great to have ideas for domain names, but if somebody's already snatched it up, there's nothing you can do. I would never pay a premium for a domain name. It's just not worth it to me. I like to brainstorm with Namecheap open. This is my favorite domain registrar. Since using them, I've never had a problem. As I'm brainstorming, I type each idea into the browser. I really only want the .com. I've never been to a website with most of these new TLDs or domain endings that they offer. Even .net and .org are barely used. Secondly, I like my domain names as short as possible and easy to spell. Working on a diet project, we were trying different domain names and landed on dressshrinker.com, and it sounded really good until you think about how weird it feels to type SSS, 3 S's in a row. It feels like you're misspelling something, and that's a real distraction. I might be the only person left who doesn't really bookmark websites. I type nearly every website I go to into the address bar every single day, so I'm more sensitive to a domain name spelling than most people are. I want as few letters, words, or syllables as possible, and there are certain words that I want to avoid, like entrepreneur, restaurant, and pneumonia. I don't like long words, words that people frequently misspell, or silent letters. Namecheap is where I buy all of my domains, and it's been a great experience. When searching for a domain, you really want the .com. Ignore beast mode and the hundreds of other domain endings. I've never been to a website using most of these. Let's say I want to start a blog about a mom who bakes cupcakes. Let's start with Cupcake Mama. When a domain isn't available, they now offer to create random word mixes to help you, but I really prefer to find the domain on my own. It's always better than the random ideas from their artificial intelligence. CupcakeMama.com is available, but it's not worth $2,000. That's just silly. I would never pay a premium price for a domain. In a year, it's worth less than 20 bucks. We can find a good name without breaking the bank today. There are a bunch of other endings we can use for less money, but they just aren't worth it, so let's move on and try some other names. I'm a dad, so let's try CupcakePapa.com. It's a regular price, so I guess cupcake dads aren't as impressive or something. Just goes to show that sometimes the premium domains are random. I wonder if spelling mama, M-A-M-A, is cheaper. Nope, it's more expensive. Let's keep trying ideas to see if we can get a good one while I'm doing this. By the time you see this video, whatever domain I find will probably be gone, even if I don't buy it. Once a domain gets searched for, it appears on a bunch of websites and somebody will see that I had a good idea. Maybe somebody will even snap up Cupcake Papa. Sassy Cupcakes is cheaper, but it's still a premium domain. Cupcake domains seem to be really expensive right now, probably because of all the TV shows. I was watching videos with my daughter about easy bake ovens today. Wow, Tiny Cupcakes is more expensive? I think I'm gonna try another seed word. Let's try Rebel Baker. These words have a lot of good meaning and will get people to check it out, and it's taken. I'm not going to make an offer. If you really want a domain like this, usually your best bet is to see when their registration expires. Maybe they won't renew it, especially if it's a dead website. Let me try Bakes with Fire, and it's available. We have a winner. I really like this domain too because it kind of mixes baking with Forged in Fire, two things that I like, and it's like tough baking. This is a really solid domain name, and it's so easy with Namecheap. Get hosting. Once you've picked the name of your new blog, it's time to get hosting. Hosting is simply renting space on a computer that's online 24/7. Your website is going to live on that computer. For your very first blog, I recommend using Bluehost. As you'll see in a moment, I have a bunch of my sites hosted with them. I'm a customer in addition to being a proponent. If you outgrow Bluehost, you can move to Kinsta. They are 10 times more expensive, and a new blog really doesn't need all of those bells and whistles and costs. I'll put the link below so you can compare the two companies, but I think you should start Bluehost. If your blog outgrows Bluehost, like Serve No Master did, then you can switch to Kinsta, but there's no reason to do it right now. This is Bluehost.com. It can be a little intimidating to look at all of these options and different kinds of plans. You don't need managed hosting or any of these other really fancy plans. You want the simple hosting for $2.95 a month. This is the plan that I have, and I'll show you how well it works with WordPress in just a moment. They run promotions all the time, so the price you see might be different than what I'm showing, but it's going to be affordable. The first plan is all you need for your first website. I'm one level above with Plus because I have multiple websites. Don't worry about the storage space limits. You're never going to hit them with a blog. They all offer 1 year of free domain. You do not want this. We use 2 companies to set up your blog very intentionally. If you do both steps with Bluehost and you miss your monthly bill or your site gets hacked, you'll lose all of your data and ownership of your website. If you keep them separate, you are protecting the name of your website. You'll still own it even if you lose your hosting account. I show you the same way that I set up my domains because it's the best way to future-proof your business. There are some really other good features here like CDN and SSL. That just means your website is going to load really fast and it'll have the lock next to the domain name in the browser bar. That's really essential now. SSL certificates are free now from a project that's called Let's Encrypt, so you should never pay for one. It's a complete waste of money. Without the lock next to your domain, people won't visit your site. They'll get an unsecure site warning. When you're ready to place your order, enter the domain name that you bought with Namecheap. I'm putting in bakeswithfire.com and then just fill in your account information. Since I already have an account, I don't need to fill in the rest of this. It's just where you put in your name and address. It's $35 a year. And it comes with that free SSL certificate from Let's Encrypt, which is great. If we go from 1 to 3 years, the price goes up, so there must be a holiday promotion running right now. So for now, I'll stick with 12 months. You don't need any of these other package extras. They won't matter for your blog. Uncheck all these boxes, enter your payment information, check the little box at the bottom, and then hit submit. Connect your domain to your hosting account. Now that you've purchased your domain at Namecheap and you're hosting at Bluehost, it's time to connect them. It's just really easy, I promise. It takes a few minutes at most. No technical knowledge is required. Bluehost and Namecheap work really well together. If you used your domain name to set up your Bluehost account, then you're already halfway done. If you're using an additional domain like I am for this demo, then the process is the same. Under domains, click on assign. I'm going to enter johnlinks.com. Now we need to verify that we really own the domain. The easiest way to do this is to point our domain to Bluehost. These other methods are more difficult, so I'll stay with the easy way. Every single website hosted with Bluehost uses the same name servers, which makes this quite easy. We're going to use ns1.bluehost.com and ns2.bluehost.com. Let's open up our tab inside of Namecheap and click on domains. Select the domain you want to connect to Bluehost. There is an option called name servers. We're going to change the settings from basic DNS to custom DNS. Then we're going to paste in those 2 Bluehost links. Click the green check mark to save your changes. That's it. All the hard technical stuff, it's done. Good job. It can take up to 48 hours for your name servers to propagate, but it's never taken that long for me. I paused the recording for about 3 minutes and now my ownership is showing as verified. Move on to step 3 and select add on domain. And in step 4, we want to create a new directory. If it's a second domain, the box should be the name of your website. So here it says John Links, which is perfect. Click on assign this domain and you're done. We can check that everything is working by clicking on my domains and you can see johnlinks.com at the bottom of the list. Please notice this little blue link that says transfer to Bluehost. Don't ever click on that. It's hard to accidentally transfer a domain, but I want to remind you one more time. Don't do it. Your website is now ready. What did you think of copying and pasting the 2 name servers? Was it painless or challenging? Let me know in the comments so I can improve my trainings. Install WordPress. We've accomplished a lot already. Now it's time to install our actual website content. We're going to install WordPress. It's the gold standard for blogs and it's free. Inside of the Bluehost dashboard, click on Create Site. There are a lot of options and this could be a little overwhelming, so let me go through this with you carefully. If it's your first time, you can use to have them set up everything for you. I've been using WordPress since 2010 and back then there were no options like that, so I have my own way of doing things. I like to set up my sites in a way that really future-proofs them. By setting up the site manually, I know I can move to a new host if I need to without any problems. There isn't any proprietary Bluehost tech built into my blog's DNA. I really try to avoid page builders because they will slow down your website. I'm in the process of removing a page builder from my main website right now because it's slowing everything down by about 30%. You don't need a page builder on your blog. I use the Elementor page builder to make sales pages and landing pages, but you don't need that on your main blog site. I use a separate site for all of those pages now. We're going to install basic WordPress as our foundation right now. First, we need to name the site and add a tagline. It's tempting to ignore the tagline, but whatever you put there will appear in the browser tab when people visit your site. So try to put something there. I'll name the site Johnlinks and the tag from YouTube to the universe. Don't use your email at the domain you're setting up. I don't want to put jonathan@johnlinks.com because if something goes wrong with Bluehost and I have trouble accessing my site, I might also have trouble accessing that email address. I've had situations where I broke my site and emails couldn't get through. So this is another place where I like to add a layer of protection. Next, we want to create our username and password. The default setting is for the username to be admin. Don't do this. You don't want your username to be anything that is easily guessed. No matter how small your blog, there are automated hackers that are going to attack it. Go to passwordgenerator.net and select something around 16 characters. Make sure you turn off special characters. WordPress will let you use them in a password, but not in a username. Click Generate Password and then copy the password that's been created. That will be your username. Go back to the Bluehost tab and paste into the username box. Then we're going to go back to the password tab, allow special characters, and generate another password. Copy this one and paste it into the Bluehost tab as your password. In order to break into your site now, a hacker has to guess 16 characters twice. That's some really serious security. I'm going to quickly pause the video and create a new username and password. Make sure you store your username and password somewhere that you will have them at all times. There are loads of password solutions and Chrome will also save your password for you. On the next page, Bluehost is going to offer you a ton of plugins that seem really great. We don't need any of these just yet. I like to start my websites with a pure, clean install. Make sure you choose the right domain from the dropdown and then leave the directory blank so your blog is installed as the home page of your website. Click Next and Bluehost will install your website for you. Once everything is ready, they show you your username and password one last time. Make sure you save it if you forgot to earlier. We did it! We've now purchased a domain and the hosting, connected them, and installed WordPress. That's a lot to get done in a short amount of time, and it's exciting every time you do this. I've been using WordPress since 2010, and back then it took hours to set up. Install WordPress theme. WordPress is an unbelievably powerful piece of software. The advantage is that anything is possible. The disadvantage is that anything is possible. There are so many options that it can be quite overwhelming. My goal in this video is to keep things as simple and foundational as possible. We want to get our sites to MVP, minimum viable product. We want a site that's good enough to start posting content. You can always work on making your site fancier once you have your blog posts coming out. Let's dive back into WordPress. No matter how you install WordPress or who you're hosting with, it always comes with some plugins that I don't think are necessary. Many of these are designed to be beginner friendly, but I think they're unnecessary. I've got you covered with exactly what you need in this video. Our first step is to remove any extraneous plugins. I like to have the cleanest install possible as the foundation for my website. I like every single decision to be intentional. Bluehost is great for hosting. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dozens of sites here, but not every plugin is right for every person. We want to deactivate and delete all of these plugins. Obviously, you can add them back in later if you decide you really need them, but I want it to be intentional. For example, I use a different mail service, so I don't need the Constant Contact plugin installed, and I don't need Jetpack. The more plugins you have installed in your WordPress site, the slower it's going to run. There are so many amazing plugins, but this is why you always have to strive for as few plugins as possible so your site can load fast. Now that the extraneous plugins have been removed, we can work on the look of your site. Every year, WordPress releases a new default theme named after the year. There's also a new theme here called Sinatra. Themes is another place where you can clean up your site. You only want 2 themes taking up place on your server, the main theme, which we're about to install, and one of the WordPress defaults as a backup. Click on Add a New Theme, and the theme I want is one of the options, so I don't have to manually upload it. WP Astra is free and a super clean theme. I do have the paid version, but you don't need to upgrade anytime soon. This theme is an absolute workhorse. I use it for my main website, my funnel website, and all my membership websites. All I have to do is install and click activate, and now the site is way more beautiful. Reload the site, it's already looking more like a blog. Everything I want to do to customize my design is handled by the Astra settings, but this is good enough for me right now. The site looks decent. If you want to see what Astra is capable of, visit servermaster.com and you'll see what I've built using this theme. Bluehost leaves the training wheels on when you first set up your site. You can do all this customization and it's still private. Nobody can see your site until you go to the Bluehost settings and click on Launch with Confidence and then hit the Launch Your Site button. We did it! We made some more progress and we now have a lean, clean WordPress installation that will load quickly. It's almost ready for you to publish your first post. We just want to work on one more section. add plugins. The beauty of WordPress is that anyone can make a plugin for the platform. The challenge is that thousands of them are actually really useful. We want to start with the plugins that I consider essential for your site operating correctly. These are the minimum you need to get started. We can cover advanced customization options and get advanced on a later video. For now, let's go to the plugins section of WordPress. The first plugin we want is called Really Simple SSL. It's a plugin that only does one thing. It forces your site to show HTTPS and never HTTP. The S stands for security, and it's really important. That S is what gets the little lock icon next to your domain name when people visit your site. And if you don't have it, Chrome shows a warning screen asking people if they really want to visit an unsecured site. We don't want that. I have Really Simple SSL installed on all of my websites. It's completely free. We're going to install and activate the plugin, and everything will switch to HTTPS. When you activate the plugin, it logs you out of WordPress, so I'm just going to install it for now. I don't want to log out while I'm recording this demo. My DNS might still be propagating, so I suggest you wait 1 to 2 days after connecting Namecheap to Bluehost to activate this plugin. Our next plugin is called Sucuri. It's a plugin completely dedicated to protecting your site from malicious attacks. You only need the free version when you're starting out. I'll record a more detailed video on customizing this plugin later, but the default settings are enough to get started. In order to fully activate this plugin, you need to create an API key, which takes about 10 seconds. For the firewall API, you need the Sucuri paid service, which we don't need thanks to our next plugin. Click the button and select which email you want to connect with our service. Sucuri mainly tracks any changes to the site, and it's constantly scanning for malicious code. For our shield, it's time to install Wordfence. Wordfence tracks how many times someone tries to log into your blog. If I see a bunch of attempts to log in with a username that I know isn't mine, such as admin, I add that to the blacklist. That means they can't brute force and crash my site. I can also block IP addresses so that the computer attacking my site is blocked. Wordfence has a few plugin options, and you can even add in two-factor authentication to your login if you want to super secure your website. Install and activate Wordfence. Select where you want them to send the alerts and make sure it's an email address that you actually check. I don't need security updates about anything other than my site, so I'm not going to check that box. Click on No Thanks to the Premium Edition. The free version of this plugin is awesome. You should customize the settings of both plugins to match how you want your site set up and how you want to receive notifications to handle all of your security, but already we've got a pretty secure website. Only one more plugin and we're finished. This is another free plugin with a premium option that you don't need called RankMath. If you see any of my other videos, you know I talk about this plugin a lot. It's my SEO workhorse. You did it. You now have a blog built on WordPress that's ready to go live. You have multiple layers of security and the foundation is in place. We have a beautiful theme and all the plugins you need for a new site. Now that everything is installed, you can start writing blog posts and customize the settings. This is a website ready to launch and we did it in way less than an hour. If you liked this video, make sure to download my guide, Your First 100 Subscribers at johnlinks.com/100. I'll show you how to go from 0 to 100 raving followers for your new blog. If this video was useful, please hit the like button below so that I can help even more people kickstart their blogs. And if you hated it, it's okay to hit the dislike button too. Thank you so much for watching my video. I've always got more content for you, so check out this one or maybe even this one.